Hi, it's John here from GPS Training and welcome to the latest Walk and Talk. Today I'm in the wonderful College Valley at the top end of Northumberland and we're going to do a 14-mile walk which takes in the stunning summit which is the Schil. What GPS unit are we with today? With the Garmin GPSMAP 65s, but more about that later. So before we start our walk, what do we need to do? We need to plan the route on our free Ordnance Survey route planning software, and that's what I did last night. Let's quickly plan it on the free Ordnance Survey route planning software. So if you go to our website, which is gpstraining.co.uk, and click on OS Plan on the top menu bar. And then you just need to search for the location. So in this case, it's Hethpool. So search for Hethpool, it will send to the map on Hethpool. Now before I plan anything, I tend to just zoom out and get a good understanding of where you want to go. So we're going to go up here, Elsden Burn, up to the Border Ridge, along the Border Ridge, White Law, Black Hag, up to the Schil itself, top of the College Valley, then we're going to come back down the College Valley. Just get a quick overview before you zoom in, because you see as you zoom in, you get a little bit more detail, but you might get confused of where you want to go. So all we need to do is every time there's a major corner on the path, we need to just click and we start creating that route. And when we're finished, we just need to rename it. So rename this to Schil. Just check how many waypoints are in it. So it needs less than 250 waypoints. So we're actually 112 waypoints, is well under that 250. And all we do is download the GPX, and it just downloads it to your PC or a Mac. In my case, it's a Mac. Let me just show it in Finder or in Windows computer with Windows Explorer. So we just need to right click and copy that. And then we need to find our Garmin GPS device. There it is, Garmin GPS. Go inside the Garmin folder and you'll see a folder called GPX within that folder. Just find the GPX folder and we literally just right click and paste item there. It's pasted within that. To check it's there, we can just open it up and there's the Schil as the GPX. So we're all ready to start the day's walking. So now we have the route in the unit, we need to load that route into the GPS unit and also reset our trip and track data, which is a record of our trip. So first of all, we need to just make sure we've got a satellite signal. So we just double tap on the menu button. It takes us down to the main menu. Right down the bottom, we have one that's called satellites, and that will just show us that we're logged on to the satellites. It shows our 10-figure grid reference at the top and how accurate it is, and it shows the satellites in the sky. So we know our GPS knows exactly where we are. We just press the quick button back there. It takes us back to the trip computer. On the trip computer page, if we just press the menu button, press enter on reset, and we want to come down to number 3, clear track and trip data. We just press that. Are you sure you want to reset it? The answer is yes, and that's now all reset and ready to start walking. You can see everything is 0. Next thing we need to do is load that route. So we just press the find button, come down to routes. The Schil is there at the top, press enter on that. There it is, 13.8 miles. It overlays on the maps and we just press go. And it's as straightforward as that. So when we're navigating, we can either navigate on the compass the map page with the compass at the top, or alternatively, I'm just going to zoom in on the map. It'll just take a few seconds to load in. Or alternatively, we can just navigate on that compass page. So what do? As we do with all walk and talks, we just follow that arrow. So if you think back to when I planned this walk initially, you may recollect that I'm actually starting off on what's called St Cuthbert's Way. St Cuthbert's Way is a 67-mile long distance trail that starts at the Scottish borders in Melrose and finishes on the holy island of Lindisfarne, which is a tidal island just off the Northumberland coast. It's a stunning walk that goes through over what's called the Eildon Hills to start off with, and then over what's called Wide Open Hill, which is the highest point of the trail. And then it also then comes over the Cheviot Hills through this section over to Wooler before it heads out to the Northumberland coast. It's a really stunning, very varied long distance trail. So that's the first big climb out of the way for this morning. What I've actually done is follow St Cuthbert's Way up to what we call the border fence or the border ridge. And behind yourself is quite an iconic sign which says, "Welcome England, welcome to Scotland," because that's exactly what it is. We pass from England into Scotland. And again, it's one of the most famous places where people get their picture taken next to the signpost. So let's just think where the Garmin GPSMAP 65s sits in Garmin's stable of GPS units. If you read any of the reviews I do, I always say the Garmin GPSMAP 65s is the best budget GPS unit. It's a little bit more expensive than the eTrex 32, which is a unit below, but I think it's certainly worth that extra money. I always think of the ranges of GPS units as like ranges of models. So the eTrex range is the bottom range, isn't it? So we've got the bottom range, eTrex 10, 22X and 32X. And then the middle range, and going to the top, is a GPSMAP series. GPSMAP 65s is the bottom of that top range, and it's the cheapest of that top range of GPS units. So I always think to yourself, you get that extra functionality. So you got the buttons down below, which makes it really easy to use, especially with gloves on in winter time. It's a multi-band GPS unit, which means that works off 5 satellite system. So it's hugely accurate, accuracy about 1.5 meters. And then we've also got what's called a topo active mapping, Garmin's European mapping built in for those going overseas. Again, for this country, I would always recommend you buy it with an Ordnance Survey map, which gives you the details that you need if you're walking in the UK, which show you your rights of way. Again, do get that with your unit, because you get it at what's called a bundle price, which is that little bit cheaper. So it's a compact unit. Again, it's just slightly smaller screen than what we find on the 66 series. We're only talking less than half an inch smaller, and therefore it's a hugely popular GPS unit for those people doing ultra events or very long distance trails. A, because it runs off AA batteries, so that you can keep the unit charged and running for a number of days just by swapping the batteries. And also, with it being a slightly smaller unit, it's very good on battery life, it is. So altogether, I think it's a cracking GPS unit. If you've seen past walk and talks on this unit, I've said many a time, if I was buying a unit with my own money, I would seriously consider the Garmin GPSMAP 65s. It's a lot of GPS unit, a lot of GPS for not a serious amount of money. So the clag, as they call it, is just coming in over here. The clouds are just starting to come down, so fingers crossed we kind of missed that. We've just got White Law behind us. White Law is a summit. You heard me talking about Wide Open Hill. I hope you can see Wide Open Hill over here. Wide Open Hill is the highest point on St Cuthbert's Way. If you see my walk and talk with the Phoenix 7, I came over Wide Open Hill on that as I head down to Hethpool. I'll say that's part of St Cuthbert's Way. We're actually on the Pennine Way now. So we jumped on the Pennine Way. This is the final section of the Pennine Way, because as you know, it starts in Edale and finishes off at Hethpool in the Scottish border. So literally, what, 2.5 miles off the end of the Pennine Way. So the spine race has just finished. The winter spine race has just finished over, well, this time last week they were finishing. So I know there's a lot of people struggling through this last section through the Cheviot Hills. It's a lovely remote section of the Cheviots. This quite hard to get into, quite a walk out of either College Valley, or you'll be walking from the Scottish side coming from Hethpool. So this is where we're heading. The clag or the clouds are coming down, so fingers crossed as we drop down now and rise up. I very much hope it's lit, because it's going to be a great summit of the Schil, which is still a little way off yet if the clouds are in, so fingers crossed. So I thought we'll have a quick look at the navigation experience that we get in this Garmin GPSMAP 65s. So here we are on the map page. This is us here, which is the blue triangle. And then this is the directional arrow, which is navigating along the route. So you can see the electronic compass working there. As we rotate, point the way we need to be walking. You can see the map orientates, because it's set up as track up. And also the directional arrow, which is the navigational arrow, is also orientating as well. We've also got a north arrow here, which shows us which way is north, believe it or not. And to navigate through the pages, we just press the page button. So press the page button, and you see this little ribbon going that way. If you press the quit button, the ribbon goes the opposite way. So whatever page you stop on, it ends up on that page. So 1,173 feet, we walked 5 miles a day, speed of walking at, maximum speed, moving time, moving average, stop time, etc, etc. Okay, elevation plot will show us the elevation. So just before this climb that we're going to go in now, so maybe it wasn't the best place to stop, was it? And then I can zoom out on there as well if I want to make it look a little bit less. We can see exactly where we are within the walk. Again, press the page button, got the compass arrow, direction we need to be walking in, distance to next waypoint, ETA of destination, time to next waypoint. So just be aware, this doesn't take in my stops or my lunch, so it will be another hour, I suspect, after that time before we get back. This is what I would navigate on the majority of the time, the compass page. You know, I wear reading glasses, so I can see that without my reading glasses, and I follow that the majority of the time. If the arrow's pointing in a direction I kind of think is going slightly the wrong way, or something I'm a bit confused about, I'll tend to jump onto the map page and kind of understand where I am on that map and see where I need to be. Again, I'll just tend to use the out or in button, or the out button or in button, to see where I am. Today I've got 1 to 50,000 maps on this GPS unit, which is completely ample. I planned on 125k mapping. Again, just the map is just an image in the background, so it's quite irrelevant what scale it is, but it just shows you where your rights of way are if you do need to bail out and change your route on when you're on the hoof. So I'm going to swing around in a minute, but I've just got my best view of the Schil, which is up behind you. So what I'll do, I'll grab the camera then, and we can have a quick panoramic look around and see what we can see. So, fingers crossed, you can see the Schil with a prominent cairn on the top. So on a lot of my walking talks, I often point it out. That's why I thought I'd brought you guys up, because it is a real prominent summit that we've seen past. Just to the left of the Schil in the cloud is the Cheviot. It's the high point in Northumberland. For a great friend of mine, Paul, who's actually going up there today. I saw him on social media yesterday, so I said I'll wave for you from the top of the Schil. So I suspect he's not going to see a lot at the top of the Cheviot today. If we skirt around here, there's actually just a little bit of drop of cloud. It's right in the distance, just at the summit of Gyle. So we saw my walk and talk I did 3 weeks ago with the Garmin GPSMAP 65s. I did Gyle there, and I did look across the Schil and the Cheviot, and that's one of the ideas of bringing you out here today. So we've got the Gyle there. This is the border ridge, the Pennine way, all the way prominent across there, Lamb Hill, Gyle, coming along, the Cheviot, the Schil. This is actually Black Hag up here to our left-hand side, so it's quite a striking viewpoint here. And we're looking back along to the Northumberland coast. I think this will be Belford here in the distance. I may be wrong. I think it won't be, but and then we've got the Northumberland coastline running down here. So it's a lovely clear day. It's amazing how that has cleared, and the cloud I thought we were going to be walking up into has now gone. And again, we're back on, well, we've always been on the Pennine way for the last bit, and there's the iconic sign, which is a national trail, which is the Acorn, which is the Pennine way. So this is where we're heading to, the Schil. It's just coming up to 12 o'clock, so it's just coming up to lunchtime. We're actually just going to drop down a little bit here. People have walked the Pennine way. There's actually 2 routes. There's a low-level route and a high-level route, and just down here is where you split off. We've just come on the high-level route. The low-level route drops back down to the valley bottom. So just going to drop down there, skirt around. I usually have my lunch behind a little wall down here, but I'll see what it's like. I've not got my sit mat with me today. But I'll tell you why about that in a little while. I'm carrying completely different rucksack today. I've got my lightweight rucksack today, my ultra gear, rather than my big winter rucksack. So what I'll do, I might quickly, in a half an hour, quickly go through that with you and show you what kit I've got with me today. Because for once, I'm actually not carrying my GPS unit on a backpack tether. This rucksack's quite flimsy on the shoulder strap, and therefore I kind of struggle a little bit with the backpack tether. I actually walk with this rucksack, if people saw the walk and talk, with the GPSMAP 66s, and I kind of struggled with it because it's a flimsy rucksack, but it does have these pockets on it. So what I've been doing is keeping my GPS unit in these pockets. So it's actually quite a nice way of holding it. So if you have got a rucksack with these pockets built in, the more the ultra events, the smaller rucksack. This is just an 18-litre rucksack. I've started carrying my GPS unit in one of these pockets on this rucksack. With my larger rucksack, I'm still carrying it on a backpack tether. So onwards and upwards, drop down, a little bit of lunch, climb up to the top of the Schil, and I may see you before then. Schil is just over 2,000 feet above sea level, 2,016 feet above sea level, so it is a mountain. Just like many of the other mountains in the Cheviot, it's actually in Scotland, but we do a very good job of stealing it, as we do with Windy Gyle, and claiming it as a Northumbrian summit, where actually we are in Scotland, and the border fence is literally just a few hundred yards behind it. We've got spectacular views looking around. Let's grab the camera and have a quick look around, pan around and see what we can see. So great views. The Cheviot, you can see now, has come out of the mist. This is Orcope Hill, or Orcope Cairn as well, just over here in the distance. So if you want to walk and talk with the Montana 700, we went up that way onto the top of the Cheviot. Windy Gyle now is a little bit more prominent around here. I'll just climb right up. It's a fantastic summit. Look at this. Really nice summit as we make our way up to the top. That's where we've just come from, looking back towards Scottish borders and Yetham. Let's climb right up. There we are, looking back over to Northumberland. So absolutely stunning. And as pan around the Cheviot, there's the College Valley in front of us. This is the Hen Hole here. Hen Hole, a lot of climbers go into the Hen Hole. There's actually a refuge hut at the top of the College Valley about there, and people go to the Hen Hole to get their water. It's one of two refuge huts, the one at the top of the College Valley. There's quite a big rescue there. I think there was 2 or 3 runners rescued from there last weekend at the end of the Spine race at 6 o'clock in the morning by Northumberland National Park Mountain Rescue Team. And this is the College Valley that's running here. You can see the College Valley running back down there, looking back towards the Northumbrian coast. As we leave the Schil behind us, we're back over the border fence. We're just going to drop back down to a place called Red Crib and drop back down into the valley. Now, fingers crossed I can find it. I was up here a number of years ago and I found something that was quite interesting. So fingers crossed I can find it with you guys again. Today it's a plaque in memory of someone a couple of thousand feet above sea level. Let's see if we can find somewhere on these rocks here. Oh, there it is. So it says, if you can read it, in memory of Steve Bertram, who died on the 20th of November 1999 doing a sport he loved. The trail is your spirit, see you at the top. Good memories, the Sunderland team. Well, Steve, you chose a cracking spot. You got the Cheviot over there. You got the Hen Hole, which is a popular climbing spot. Orcope Hill, or Orcope Cairn is just above it as well. And the College Valley is just below. Looking right over the border ridge. Windy Gyle is there, where we were up earlier in the month. A little bit of snow lying in places as well. This is good. But hey Steve, you chose a cracking spot, didn't you? This is the top end of the College Valley. College Valley is managed by College Valley Estate, and it's a wonderful estate with great ethos. They both look at it as a farming, because there's tenant farmers on here, but ethically as well, they look after the environment. One of the nice things to do is they restrict cars except for the residents coming up the valley. So where I parked at the base of the valley is as far as you can get without a permit. There is a bunkhouse up here, and there's a village hall as well, so when there's events or you stay in the bunkhouse, you get a permit and you're allowed to drive up the valley. And they do restrict the number of vehicles that are allowed up and down the valley. Really makes for nice walking, nice easy walking. Another mile and a half, then we hit the tarmac road, and it's a single track road for about another 3 miles back down the base of the valley. Beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to visit the College Valley, even if you're not fanatical walkers, you can just park at the bottom and just walk up the road. Fantastic, stunning scenery. You can bring wheelchairs, you can bring buggies. You can really get a sense of the isolation, but you've not got cars whizzing past you all the time. A little bit earlier on in the walk, I said I'm walking now with an 18-litre pack, and I'm kind of practicing. If people don't know, I'm actually training for the Summer Spine Challenge race, which is just over 100 miles, end of June, and you're having to carry everything for that period. So what I've started doing is thinking about how I can lighten my pack, make it more flexible, and because I'm having to carry it really for 2.5 days, because I've got 60 hours to complete it in. Just kind of thinking and reset. I don't know if it's the right way to go yet, but I thought I'd quickly just show you what I've started to do. And yeah, if you've got thoughts or feedback, leave it in the comment box below. So this one I've gone down to an 18-litre rucksack. So I used to carry like a 40-litre rucksack. So it's completely a big change in what I've used to be carrying in the past. Key thing really is it's got these 2 big pockets on the side. So in here I've got my waterproofs on one side, and on my other side I've got a waterproof shell jacket there. So these are amazing. These are my waterproofs now. I've gone to really lightweight waterproofs, which are literally like this. That's me waterproof top. The Montaigne these, and these are my leggings here. So tiny lightweight waterproofs, which I've been using. You may have seen me on the walking talk with the 66s. I was wearing them, and I've been using them a little bit as well. And there's my shell suit, so my shell jacket, which is like a Montaigne jacket, which is lined as well, and I've been carrying that in there. My poles I've got on the outside of the bag, so you can see my poles I'm using there. So I've got a bladder in there, which is a 3-litre bladder, which is a large area which fits down the back. I've also been putting a few maps in the back as well, but today I've just got my 3-litre bladder in there, which is coming out here. 2 pockets on the front, which I think I've said earlier, I've put my GPS in one. I've been putting hats and energy gels and things in the other, but today I've just kind of took my hydration pouch in here. There's 2 main pockets on this bag. I'll start on the outside pocket and see what I've got in here. So I've got my head torch, which I carry everywhere with me here. I've got my a couple of energy gels. I'm a massive fan of them, but I do take them with me, and I do use them if I need be. Then I've got my aqua pack, which has got a knife in, whistle in, blister plasters, and like mini first aid kit in there as well. So the bits and bobs that I need I've put in there. And then I've got a little pouch here, which I suppose moves on to other things as well. In there I've got my loo roll, my poo bags to put things in. I've got my torch for the back of my, for a lot of events you need a red flashing torch, which is what that is. Keep a little bit of Vaseline with me as well. And believe it or not, I've got some Anodin Extra, my painkillers, just in case I'm in absolute agony when I'm doing any of these events. That's what I've got in my outside pocket. Then on my inside pocket, I've got the remnants of my packed lunch box, my leftovers from packed lunch. I don't like my sandwiches to be too squashed. I keep everything in aqua packs. So this is my winter woolies. So this is my hat, my spare hat, my 2 sets of gloves. I've got a hat on my head as well, which is all in there. And then I've got my emergency bivvy blanket, so I can sleep in this with an emergency bivvy blanket. I won't open up. Again, it's all there in an aqua pack. Of course, ordnance survey map, and I'll go anywhere without my ordnance survey map. I don't have to use it very often, but it's there just in case. Then a couple of things on the bottom of my bag which I've kept really for the events. So a lot of the events now you have to have goggles with them. So I know for the Montane Spine Challenge you need goggles, so that's my goggles there. Never worn them today. I don't really fancy wearing them, but they're there just in case. And again, for the Montane kit is a little mini shovel, so tying in very much with the loo paper. You've got a little mini shovel to bury any excrement, really. That's the reality of it. Walking poles are there on the outside of my bag. Now I appreciate it's not a massive area, this 18 litre bag. So what I've also been walking with now, I might unpack it, move that to one side with all my gear. What I've also been walking with now is a bum bag. So I've been walking with this for quite a while now on my front. So I've been carrying this on my front and I've been keeping it with my food in the majority of the time. So what I've been trying to do, and I've been walking, is not stop to eat. So I can put my poles underneath. The poles can tie underneath. Also when I'm filming, I can put my tripod underneath as well if I want to. You've got these 2 same big expandable bags on the side. So again, I can put like jackets in there, layers in there. And these really exactly the same as this. So you can put a lot of gear in the side of there. And then at the moment, I've not got a massive amount in today because I've not a lot with me. I've just got, to be honest, I've got a lot of my recording stuff. I've got spare batteries. I've got my AirPods in there, spare batteries for my GPS unit, various other bits and bobs. I've started wearing this if it's a wet, horrible day because I'm a glasses wearer. I've got my pink bands put around the back of my glasses so I don't lose them when they're. But a lot of the time I've been putting my food in there. So I've been putting my pork pies in there, my sandwiches in there, and various other bits and bobs. But these side pockets I've really liked on there, so I'm going to take jumpers off, or if I need to take my down jacket off, I can put it in my rucksack. If I'm going to take a jumper off, I can put it in there. I've also been putting things like GoPro and things in the side there when I'm not using them for filming. So that's kind of my kit so far. I'm still learning. It's still all new to me. Do you think there's anything I'm missing? Write in the comment box below. I don't know if this is the way forward yet. 18 litre and 3 litres to 21 litres. I'm kind of less than half of what I used to be carrying. I think the lightweight waterproofs and things have saved a massive amount of area, and they've been really very good. So you'll see when I did my Windy walk, the weather wasn't the best. I took my bigger rucksack with me now, but I'm kind of weaning myself back into this smaller one. If I do the event with it or not, I'm learning. So I'm learning what works for me at this moment in time. So there's a bit of an update on the kit I'm using. I love the silver bags I've started. I used to be aqua packs. I love the silver bags now. I don't know. We struggle to get the aqua packs one, so I've got these silver ones that I keep everything in. My hats and my woolies and things, keeps everything dry. So yeah, if there's any thoughts, leave it in the comment box below. And we've got another 1.5 miles to go, and then we're going to have to wrap up. So just as we're approaching the cars, when we get there, I'll show you how we can stop navigating that route and save the track, which is a record of our trip. But I thought I'll give you a quick summary of my thoughts on the GPSMAP 65s. I'm actually out today with it because somebody on YouTube said, oh, I've not seen out for ages with the 65s. To be honest, I've never got a qualm on picking it up. I really enjoy the GPS unit, and that's exactly what I did. I thought, pick it up, let's go for a decent walk in the Cheviots with it and push it, put it through its paces. And that's exactly what we've done today. It's phenomenal. It's fitting really well on this new rucksack with the little pockets here. It's ideal for this kind of occasion. And now look at this, really small, compact, top-end GPS unit. It's got all the functionality of any of the GPS units, which are many hundreds of pounds, but in a nice compact, a little bit of a retro looking style really on my GPS unit. Have a look here. You know, we've still got, you know, 50% battery life from what we've been out for. We'll be about 6 hours today, 5 hours. We'll see when we finish with 50% battery life as well. So we're getting that. We're going to get a good 10 to 12 hours out of it. I must say that the rechargeable batteries we're using in these units are just some that we've used on courses and things. So they'll have been used for many years and recharged and maybe not looked after as well as they should have. But you're still getting great battery life because it's not powering that large screen. I went earlier on multi-band, key feature, top of active mapping, key feature, and yeah, the buttons down the bottom really make it very easy to use because the buttons actually tell you what it's going to do. So I'm just going to show you quickly how we stop navigating that route. I just heard the last beepers came across that last waypoint there. I'm going to show you how we stop navigating the route and we save that track. So then, at the end of the day's walk, we need to do two things. We firstly need to stop navigating that route we've been navigating. Now, if we look, the arrow should be pointing the wrong way now. So it should be pointing this way, which is back on ourselves, just because the last waypoint was a few hundred yards back up there. If you notice, I always do my last waypoint just before the car park. Now, to stop navigating the route, we just do exactly the same as we started with. Press the find button, then we come down to stop navigation, press enter on stop navigation, and now we've stopped navigating. We know we're not navigating, we've lost the red arrow, lost all this data here. Other thing we need to do is just then save that track. So we just go to our main menu, just double tap on the menu button, takes the main menu, and we need to come down to track manager, which is there. Press enter on track manager. Okay, press enter on current track, and we just need to save that track. By default, it's giving it the time, so it's 10 past 3. And it's the 28th of the 1st, 2023. Just put enter again. Oh, sorry, come down to the bottom. It's my fault. It says done. And it exports that track. So it says, do you want to clear it? You select yes, we're going to clear it because we've saved it. And that's our track there. So there's a track saved as of today. So we can view it on the map. So I see 14.7 miles when I've done my little bit of running around. And there's it all overlaid on that map there. So I very much hope you enjoyed the latest walk and talk with myself, John, from GPS Training. If there's anything we can help you with at GPS Training, if you think about buying a GPS unit or wanting to get to grips with your GPS unit, please do get in touch. If you have any thoughts or feedback about the walk and talk, please just leave a comment in the comment box below. And if you can subscribe and give us a thumbs up on whatever platform you're watching this on, that is very much appreciated. Again, if you have any thoughts of what you'd like me to do in future walking talks, again, just leave a comment in the comment box below and I'll try and answer as many as I can. So whatever you're going to do, get out, enjoy your walking, and again, many thanks for watching.